It's time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with sports director Blake Arthur and sports reporter Kenji Ito.
High school football is back, headlined here in week one by a cross-league all-local showdown between Xavier Prep and Coachella Valley. The Saints and Arabs going toe-to-toe with a tough test to start their season. Plus a territorial tussle in the 8th annual Mayor's Cup between Indio and Shadow Hills. Could the Rajas finally get their first win over the Knights? We have the answer coming up. It is week one of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show, and it starts right now.
High school football is back, and you're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
We're serving it up. Come get some.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
Let's get it, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Friday Night Football.
This is the Mayor's Cup, and you are watching the Best Local Sports Show in the Valley.
How do you not love high school football? Those drums are awesome. Football finally back. I'm sports director Blake Arthur. Welcome into the week one edition of the Best Local Sports Show. The long-awaited season is here, and we are happy that you are here with us. Going to be a fun season from now until November, so let's enjoy it and get things started. First game of the new season for our show. Two local teams, two good teams. Xavier Prep and Coachella Valley, an early test for both programs to see where they stand right away. Last year's meeting between these two was canceled due to lightning, so both these squads were eager to settle the score. Early moments, Coachella Valley going to get the sack, and this was the last play for Saints quarterback who had to be airlifted from this game due to concussion-like symptoms. We've been reporting on this story throughout our newscast at the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock hour. As you see the helicopter there airlifting that player. We hope he is okay. Obviously, we are thinking of him. Not a lot of points in the first half. The Arabs will get on the board here. Quarterback Derek Calderon runs it in. That made it 7-0 CV. And then from there, the Arabs would run away with it. And you have to imagine it was hard for the Saints to keep their focus and composure when they saw their teammate and friend be airlifted from the game. That is a scary and serious situation that is not taken lightly. This is just high school football at the end of the day. There are far more important things in life than wins and losses on a football field. Coachella Valley did get the win, 27-0 in the final. The game was actually called early in the fourth quarter due to another head injury. So the score secondary in this one, the health and safety of the players became the primary concern. Our Kenji Ito was at this game. He will have more on this game and the latest on the health and safety of those players coming up later in our show. All right, let's go to the Mayor's Cup. Shadow Hills and Indio renewing their rivalry. Well, if you can call it that, no disrespect, but the Knights have dominated this annual meeting. They are 7-0 against the Rajas coming into this year's game. Outscored Indio 255-26 in those 7 wins. First quarter, Pedro Trujillo, the quarterback for Shadow Hills, punches it in. That made it 7-0 Knights on the road with the lead. Shadow would keep it rolling in the first half. Number 8, Anthony Garcia. Coming into your picture in moments here, Trujillo dials up the deep ball, and Garcia, what a catch that is, keeps the feet in bounds. Knights knocking on the doorstep yet again, and it would be Trujillo taking it in himself. Gets his second touchdown of the game. Knights up 14-0 to start the second quarter. Now, after a turnover on the kickoff, Knights again on offense. Joe Diaz, number 4, off the right side, and that is just a speed play. We are faster than you. Another touchdown. Shadows now up 23-0 in the second quarter. Indio would finally get going, get on the board, and it was a heck of a play. Senior quarterback Michael Silva to sophomore Isaiah Woodson. Woodson, what a snag. Not done there. Takes it in the end zone. Rajas get their first touchdown of the season. Made it a 23-8 game, but the Knights would add another score and secure yet another victory over the rival Rajas. Shadow Hills rolls Indio 33-8 the final. The Knights now 8-0 against the Rajas. They celebrate with the Mayor's Cup. Here's their head coach, David Palmer, on the win.
The win's great. I mean, I'm glad they never, even when the little moments, hiccups happen, they prevailed and kept going. So, a big difference. So I'm excited.
Shadow Hills now 8-0 against Indio. Congratulations to them. Hey, we're just getting started with the show. Coming up, Desert Hot Springs hosts Rubidoux in their season opener. See if the Golden Eagles could soar to a win. Plus, Desert Christian Academy makes their 2024 debut at home. We'll have those highlights, scores, and much more. It is week 1 of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a bit.
Hey, how you doing? Enjoy the game.
Both number 12 and 11.
Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show, week 1 of high school football. Last year, Desert Hot Springs was one of the best stories. The Golden Eagles soared above expectations, going 9-4 overall, 4-3 in league. Now, more than that, they clinched a spot in the playoffs, winning their first ever playoff game in program history. But they weren't done there, winning another playoff game before bowing out in the semifinals. It was a very successful and, as you would imagine, historic season for DHS. The question now is, how do they back it up? Desert Hot Springs at home against Rubidoux to start their season. DHS in the navy tops, gold pants, fired up in front of the faithful. And early on, not a lot of offense in this one, so the defense would step up for Desert Hot Springs. Rubidoux going deep, but DHS defense says, nah, give me that. That's right to number 2 for the Golden Eagles. The interception there. It's still week 1, so we're going to get these rosters, names all dialed up for you. And heck of a catch here on offense for number 1 of Desert Hot Springs. That is Dominic Amble. That put the Golden Eagles in scoring territory, and they would finish off the drive here with a touchdown run, and a heck of a run it is by number 2. He had the interception, and now he's scoring touchdowns as Desert Hot Springs wins it 20-14. Golden Eagles off to a good start in their season opener. Look for them to be a threat in the new Sun Valley League. Desert Christian Academy, they're in the Manzanita League taking on Calipatria. Calipatria would score first 20 seconds of the game. So not a good start for DCA in the all-black uniforms, but they would battle back. Look, it's week 1. There's a lot of football to be played. So week 1, quarter 1, lot to improve upon. DCA would get the fumble here, the turnover. That would set up the offense, and they would score right here. Another touch, their first touchdown of the game. Number 80. We're doing our best to get the camera work for you, get the highlights, show the kids. But how? Speaking of kids, what a play here by the quarterback from Calipatria as they would go on to beat the Conquerors 48-27, the final. DCA with a tough loss to start the season. Another touchdown here from the Conquerors, but they start their year at 0-1. Cathedral City started their season on Thursday against Indian Springs. Lions were outside the valley, but thankfully we were able to get you those highlights. It is a local show, so we primarily focus on the games locally in town, but sometimes we get some help from our friends outside the valley. Lions led by 10 after the break, opening kickoff to the second half. Trace Vargas gets some blocks on the left side, takes advantage. Big return into Coyote territory to set up the offense. Cathedral City has one of the better backs in football in the area. Noah Gannon gets some blocks on the left side and a big run all the way inside the 5-yard line. Lions on the doorstep. Yeah, give it to Gannon. Why not? Punches it in for the touchdown, but he was not done there. 2-point conversion. What are you going to do? We're not going to kick it. We're going to give it to Gannon. Why wouldn't you do that? Lions rolling up 26-8. Indian Springs would battle back, but it was too little, too late for them. The Lions get it done on the road. 42-20, the final over Indian Springs. That is a nice win for Cathedral City to start their season. The Lions in that new Sun Valley League, so excited to see what they do under their head coach, Richard Lee. All right, let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard here now. Week 1 scores, not all of our area teams in town. In fact, none of our area teams in action. You think of a team like La Quinta, they never play week 1 or week 0. We call it week 1 here at KESQ News Channel 3, but we'll see La Quinta next week. As for the scores, Palm Desert loses on the road at Brawley. Palm Springs gets shut out on the road at Segerstrom. Desert Mirage, that is a nice win over St. Jean de Lessenac in Temecula. Fun fact, I actually went to St. Jean de Lessenac grade school, not high school, but went to the grade school there in Orange County. And then Desert Chapel loses on the road to New View Bridge. So that is our out-of-town scoreboard for week 1. Coming up, we will have more from Coachella Valley's win over Xavier Prep and Blake's Best. What is that? Well, stick around to find out. You're watching Week 1 of high school football on the best local sports show. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back after this. Well, as we've been reporting throughout the night, Coachella Valley versus Xavier Prep ended early due to a dangerous situation to start to the season in Coachella Valley. On the field tonight, 2 major injuries for Xavier Prep players. The latest injury happened in the fourth quarter. That led to the game being stopped. We're told it appeared to be a head injury and the player was leaving in an ambulance. Now this injury comes after what we already reported as another injury to a teammate very early in the game. That player was airlifted tonight to Desert Regional Medical Center. This is the video and photos that we're getting from viewers of the airlift. The helicopter landing in the middle of the field in the first half. A very scary situation. Out of respect for the player, we're not going to reveal or announce his name. We do know that the play that he was injured on happened very early in the game, and he is suffering from concussion-like symptoms. Again, now we've learned there was a second injury in that fourth quarter. So 2 injuries in that game. That is the big story from that game as far as Xavier Prep and Coachella Valley. Again, the game ended early, 27-0, Coachella Valley winning that game. The score not necessarily of concern. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with the players who were injured tonight in that game for Xavier Prep. I do know that our Kenji Ito was out at this game, and he is hopefully going to be having more from this game. We are going to hear from him in this show. We are working here to get you that report. Xavier Prep, 27-0, a loss, but more importantly, we want to send our condolences to the player who was injured tonight. Kenji Ito now with us with more on this game and a very difficult situation.
Battle between the Coachella Valley Mighty Arabs and the Xavier Prep Saints was a complete blowout, to say the least. Coachella Valley won 27-0, but the bigger picture of the game was quite emotional.
I have a number of feelings. Obviously, first and foremost, we had some guys from Xavier that got injured and needed some medical care, and our thoughts and our feelings are with them, just to get right and get healthy. It's a very, it's a very physical game, and we all want all those guys to get healthy and have a speedy recovery. And that's the first and foremost thing. That's the biggest thing. We learned a lot from the game. As I said before it, Xavier's a really strong team, strong program, very disciplined. As you saw at the beginning of this game, man, we were making some mental mistakes, and hey, you know what I mean? And they were more disciplined than us at the beginning of this game. And we talked about that before the game, and it still played out. We really had to kind of find ourselves and try to put it together and get mentally stronger for us to finish the game, or at least, have a stronger second half than we did in the first half. So I feel like we took strides forward, but we still have a lot of work to do.
And we definitely wish the Xavier Prep players the absolute best and a speedy recovery. And Coachella Valley has quite the game ahead against Rancho Mirage, the reigning DEL champions. Reporting at Coachella Valley High School, Kenji Ito, News Channel 3.
Kenji Ito, thank you so much. We, of course, wish that player the best in recovery. Time now for Blake's Best. New wrinkle this year where I show you something that stood out to me from my favorite thing this week, and really it's Rancho Mirage. This team is in Hawaii. Who doesn't want to be in Hawaii? The Rattlers starting their season at Farrington and Honolulu. So that is the best thing I saw today. Rancho Mirage, the Rattlers. Aloha to them. Kenji will have more on that game on Saturday. That's going to do it for Week 1 edition of the Best Local Sports Show. Thank you to our hardworking team who makes this all possible. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Blake Arthur out.
News Channel 3 is now available on any of these streaming services. Watch live and on demand